everybody, what's going on? Kio-chan here, and welcome back to another Thursday here on VlogsOfSeven. It is Stardate 81.04. This week, David asked me, when is the best time to go to a convention? I consider myself a convention veteran because I've been to quite a few conventions over the past couple of years, so I know quite a bit about them. Before we can even answer that question, we have to analyze our lives and events surrounding it. The first thing we should look at is our working status. Are you a student? Are you a working individual, either full or part-time? Or are you a family individual? If you are a student or a family individual, the summer is the best time for you to go to a convention. Here's the reasoning. If you're a student, most classes are done by the summer months, unless of course you're being left back, or if you're in college and you want to take a few more classes during the summer session. But other than those two situations, there really aren't any classes going on. So that means you have plenty of time to go to conventions during the summer. If you are a family individual, the same logic applies. Your child's classes will be over, so that gives you time to gather the whole family up and go on a trip and possibly see a convention. If you're a working individual, you have a little bit more leeway. It really depends on your work environment. If your job allows you to take many days off, then you could probably go to any convention you want. But if your job doesn't give you that many days off, you may want to consider conventions that take place in months that have holidays in it. So that way you can have more time to get to and from the convention. And that goes into aspect number 2, travel. A lot of conventions aren't in your local area. They're either on the other side of the country or in another country entirely. So it really depends on which convention you want to go to. Here's 2 examples. Say you want to go to Youmacon. For those who don't know, Youmacon is in Detroit. I live in New York. So to get from New York to Detroit, that is a 11-hour drive without taking breaks. So that means I'll be on the road for 2 days both ways. So 4 days total of traveling. And I'll also be spending 3 days there at the convention. There's a couple problems there. 1, that's a lot of time to be traveling. 2, it takes place during the school year. So that means that I risk the possibility of missing out in class. So I'll be losing information. Therefore, I'll be a little bit behind everybody else. That's not a good thing in college. I know, because I'm a senior in college. I know a lot of these things. So sometimes that can be an issue. Another issue, which goes into example 2, is cost. If your convention is on the other side of the country, you're not going to be driving there. Unless, of course, you have lots of time on your hands. But most people really don't have the time to travel cross-country, which would probably take you about a week. I'm going to say a week, just to be safe. So that means the most cost-effective way to get there is to fly. And everyone knows the cost of flying is ridiculously expensive. So you have to consider how far away the convention is and if you have the means of paying for it. So if you take all that stuff into consideration, you would probably say that the summer is the best time to go to a convention. Sure, during the summer months, it's going to be hot as all heck. I know, because I've been to quite a few summer conventions in various different states, and it can get rather hot, like in the 90s. And when you're wearing a cosplay, that can be brutal sometimes. But the summer is pretty much everyone's best bet because there's really not much going on during the summer. Everyone's on break, so that is the best time for anyone to go. If I had to say there was another possibility of a good time to go, I would say it would probably be early fall and early spring. I think those are the other 2 good options. The temperatures are just right, and there's really not all that much going on in school and everything else. So I think those are all good times to go, but the summer is probably the best time because that is when all the big conventions are happening and they're the most popular ones. So I would say the summer is definitely the best time to go. So that is my long-winded answer. Hope that made sense to everybody. If you guys have any more questions on that, you can let me know and I'll try to answer that best I can. So let's get into Oki-chan's question. So my question for Oki-chan is, Which conventions would you love to go to? That's my question for you, Kio-chan. And that is all for me this week. I'll be back next week. And until then, have a good day, everyone. Bye!